The next part we're going to draw for our pegboard project is the pegboard base, which is just a simple rectangle with your shapes cut out for your pegs. You're going to start with the new standard IPT, get your sketch on it, and you're going to use a 2-point rectangle tool to draw a rectangle that is 5.75 by 3. Then you can use your zoom cube to zoom out so you can see your rectangle. We're going to finish the sketch. I always click the little house to zoom out so I can see it go into 3D. Use extrude to extrude this shape to 0.75. Now that we have our rectangle, we're going to put a sketch on the front surface to draw the holes for our shapes. We're going to start with the easiest one, which is the circle. So we're going to get our circle tool, snap and draw a circle that is 1 inch in diameter. You're going to use your dimension tool, and remember, when we dimension circles, we use the center point of the circle. So I'm going to click the left vertical line, then my center point, drag it down towards the bottom, set that dimension to 1.25. I'm going to choose the center point of my circle and the bottom edge of my rectangle, drag it to the left, and set that to 1.5. The next shape we're going to draw is our rectangle for the square. I'm going to snap and draw a rectangle kind of in this area that is a 1 by 1 square. I'm going to get my dimension tool, choose the bottom of the square, then the bottom of my rectangle, and I want to set that to 1 inch. I'm going to use my dimension tool to choose the right vertical line of my square, then the right edge of my larger rectangle, drag it up, set that to 0.75. My next shape is going to be an equilateral triangle. I'm going to use the polygon tool to draw my triangle. So where it says sides, I need to change that to 3. Do not hit done or enter, just type in 3. Then go over to your shape and draw a triangle. Before I dimension my triangle, there are a couple of constraints I want to put on it. So I'm going to close out of the polygon tool. Right up here in the middle of your screen, there are some red constraints. We want to make sure the bottom of our triangle is completely horizontal. So right here is your horizontal line constraint. So I choose horizontal constraint and I pick that line so that way it becomes horizontal. I'm also going to double check to make sure that my sides stay equal to my triangle. Also in the line constraints is an equals tool. So I'm going to switch over to equals, choose one of the lines on my triangle, then a second line on my triangle. If I get this error right here, that means they are already an equilateral triangle. So I hit cancel. I'm going to get my dimension tool, choose the bottom horizontal line of my triangle, then the very top point of the triangle, and drag it to the right. I want a vertical dimension. I set that dimension down and I set it to 1 inch. Now that I've set the size of my triangle, I want to set the location of my triangle. I'm going to get my dimension tool, choose the bottom of my rectangle, then the bottom horizontal line of my triangle, and then kind of move my mouse down, click to set that dimension down, and I want to set that to 1 inch. My next dimension is going to be from the left edge of my rectangle to the center point of my triangle, and I'm going to drag that towards the top. Remember, it's not a click and a hold and a drag. It's just click, move your mouse. then set that dimension down, and I want to set that to 2.75. Once I have all my dimensions entered for my shape, it's time to extrude cut these shapes. So I finish the sketch, go to extrude, make sure you choose all three shapes. So I choose the circle, the triangle, and the square. I want to grab the arrow for my extrusion, flip it, and run it all the way through so it cuts. Then I hit the green check mark. Once I've made my shape, I want to make sure I change the color to whatever color you want, whatever matches your pegboard, and then save it as the pegboard top, all right, or peg base. However you want to save this is completely up to you.